I don't know, I was just thinking. And you know what's weird? I started to learn gratitude is a superpower. So level with me. Stop me if you've heard this one before. What do you think I was about to tell you a joke? No, I mean literally, if you know where I'm going with this, fast forward to the part of the video where I'm wearing a different shirt. If you don't know where I'm going with this, stick around. We've got a surprise for you. Brace yourself though. What I'm about to say might come as a shock because it's not something that we like to talk about in our day-to-day lives. Pornography. Started off as something that we could easily live without and then dangerously turned into the opposite. As somebody that struggled with it for over 10 years, been there, I know how you feel. The hiding, the shame, the cycles of the guilt and the regret and the blah, 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 and the I'm sorry, God prayers. I get it. Feels like you're drowning. But because of the judgment and all that, it's better to just keep it hush-hush. No more. No more keeping it hush-hush. That's one. I need you to say that. No more keeping it hush-hush. First and foremost. If we're going to change it, we have to acknowledge it. We acknowledge it, we can fix it. That's one. Two, feels like you're drowning. Well, here's a helping hand. I made a video book, a digital interactive video book, fancy. I made a video book called Make Porn Mourn. The concept behind it is that porn has taken a lot from us in a very, very slick way. Now, this is our get back, okay? This is our get back. Now we are the ones that are going to make porn mourn. It's 3 things that you'll find in this book. 1, what is porn? The truth about it. 2, what Jesus has to say about porn. He actually talks about it, funny enough. And 3, how to beat it. Knowing these 3 things is what will put you on the path on your start to freedom. That's it. It's $20. You can access it on my Stand store. The link will be wherever it comes first, either in the description or it'll be in our bio, depending on where we're at when you're seeing this. Go in there, grab your copy. You might have to do a little sacrifice. Like I said, $20. So you might have to skip out on some eating out or, some Netflix or some, I don't care what you have to do. Just get it done. Get that 20 and get that digital copy. You get me? I love you. Let's do it. What's going on, y'all? I want to talk about something. But first, I just wanted you guys to understand the purpose of the channel. I'm just here to wash your feet for real. And that's it. Dad gave it to me today and I was like, you know what? I'm rocking with that. So, the thing about purpose is that it's always for someone else. Like, someone else always has to be involved. Remember in Genesis where it was like, it's not good for man to be alone. I was just thinking, like, when it comes to purpose, like if your purpose is to sing, there has to be somebody that listens. If your purpose is to build, like let's say an architect. God wanted you to be an architect. If your purpose is to build, there has to be somebody that you're building for. It's not good for man to be alone because we're literally created to, our purposes are based on servitude. I just thought about that. But anyway, so thinking about that, it made me think like, oh, I'm actually really, really appreciative for y'all for allowing me to wash your feet. To be able to wash somebody's feet, there have to be feet to wash. So thank you for showing up here. There's no condition on that. There's no condition on my gratitude. Oh, this is perfect segue. Okay, there's no condition on my gratitude. Like, just thanks for showing up and allowing me to be able to wash your feet. It means a lot to me. You could be anywhere else doing anything else. So I just wanted to voice my appreciation. I have no idea like what I do for you or what these do for you or what Father uses me to do in your life. So I just wanted to vocalize that. Yeah. Just let you know that you're appreciated yourself. Okay. So I'm walking outside, right? And this morning, because I'm walking the mutt, Okay. And I recognize, I'm like, yo, we're walking outside, like you get, given the damp smell, the damp wet grass kind of smell. The one where you kind of want to put your feet in, but you also know that the ground is wet, like the dirt is wet too. So then I basically come to the realization, like, yo, it rained. And I was like, bro, I didn't realize it rained. I was grateful for that. I was just like, it rained and I had no idea that it rained. Now, maybe it's because in the game I'm playing, Spider-Man, the story is that Aunt May, Peter's aunt, guardian, works at a shelter. So I'm at that shelter a lot because it's part of the story, right? But maybe it's because of that. But my thought process was there's somebody, like there's a possibility that I could have known that it rained last night. The fact that I have a roof, I could not have a roof. The fact that I have walls that are solid enough that they're not like, I don't know, wood, they don't soak in water. Like I'm not affected by the rain at all, to the point where I didn't even know that it happened until I woke up. Until I went outside. Not until I woke up, until I went outside. And I was like, oh, it's muddy and like it rained. It definitely rained last night. I didn't know. So that just stuck with me. And I was really grateful for that. I was like, I don't know, I was just thinking. And you know what's weird? I started to learn gratitude is a superpower. So level with me. If spiritual warfare is a fight for the mind, right? It's somebody wants your mind. Father wants it, Satan wants it. One wants to give you peace, and the other one wants to rip away your peace. Okay? So spiritual warfare is a fight for the mind, then gratitude is a weapon. Do you know how you get when you're like genuinely, like think about Thanksgiving. It's weird that we only do this once a year. Okay. It's weird that I want to say Americans, we're Christians. Americans do it once a year where we vocalize what we're thankful for. You know, that kind of like place that puts you in when you're genuinely stating things that you are genuinely grateful for, not things that you take for granted and like things that don't even come to your mind. You're just saying, oh, I'm grateful for shelter and, food. And you've had food all your life. You've never had to worry about a meal. Don't say you're grateful for food. Like, your only reason you're saying that is because you were trying to shoot some things you're genuinely grateful for. You know, that's like that high that it gives you. I was just kind of thinking about it, and I was just like, gratitude's a superpower, because with it, we wear the helmet of salvation. So I was thinking about, I was like, no matter what could happen to me today, no matter what bad trial, tribulation, or circumstance could come my way, none of it could affect the fact that I did not know it rained until I went outside this morning. That I was so protected by my own crib, by the walls, the infrastructure, by all these other things that I didn't even know about, but Father knew. And it was like he had won a battle. There could be a way I'm sleeping outside and I know that it rained because the rain is on my face. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, with that little, just that piece of gratitude, I was thinking to myself, I was like, there's nothing that can happen that can take that away from me. Nothing. It's like that fact was concrete and unshakable. And the first thing I thought about when I thought about it being unshakable, house on the rock. If I put my joy and hope in the fact that it rained and I had no idea that it rained, let's put it like that. If I put my joy in the fact that I had no idea that it rained, then it's going to be really hard for something else to steal my joy. Because no matter what happens, it doesn't change the fact that it rained and I didn't know about it. It doesn't change the fact that I had something to be grateful for. It's unmovable. So it's untouchable. It's cemented. And I was thinking about Jesus when he talks about building your house on the rock versus building your house on the sand. And that, honestly, that house on the rock and sand, bro, that's been on my mind the past month and a half. But I was thinking about it, I was like, that's what it is to build your house on the rock. You put your hope and trust and joy in things that are unshakable and cannot be moved. Like if I put my joy in a video game, games get boring. Do you know what I mean? But if I put my joy in the fact that last night, it rained and I had no idea, because God is faithful, because Father is faithful. a lot harder for my joy to be stolen or for it to be temporary, because nothing can touch that. I don't know. I was thinking about it, bro. Like the power of the past. No, not really power of the past. More like gratitude is a weapon. Gratitude is a weapon. Satan can't touch that. That was it, I think. No, that's not it. This is it. I believe the focus is to take our attention off of what Jesus is currently doing in our lives, or more importantly, about to do, right? Like, let's say you're at a dinner and, you're in school, you're in college, blah, 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 and then they ask you, so what's the game plan after college? You don't freaking know. I'm not out of college yet. Why are you asking me that? How am I supposed to know? I don't know what the game plan is. I'm kind of just letting God do his thing, right? We get so focused on what Jesus is going to do in our lives or what he is doing, we don't even stop to really recognize what he's done. I think the focus is to put our hope in what he's done instead of what he's about to do. And then we can focus on what he's doing. Level with me. You're a lot less worried about what he's about to do when you know what he's done. You're like, okay, perfect example. I was thinking about here. I'm about to move into an apartment, a new one in a new city. And my first thought is I'm gonna be with less people. I'm gonna really have to pay rent. I'm gonna really have to pay rent. Rent's gonna be more expensive. I'm thinking all these things, right? And this is all what he's about to do, right? What he's going to do. And it took me, I stopped and I was like, wait a minute. Why would I be tripping about not being able to pay the rent when I've been able to pay the rent every single month since I moved in? I moved in here in August. It's March now. So now the question becomes, focus on what Jesus did, change the focus to what's about to happen. Did the rent get paid? Yes. Does the rent continue to get paid? Yes. Okay, so why would I not think that the rent would get paid in the future? Okay, that's just one way to see what I was saying. Now here's another way. When you are able to focus on what was done, it's easier to focus on what you're doing. Perfect example. Let's say, where was I going with this? Okay, what Jesus is currently doing is a testament to what he has done. Duh. An ex-alcoholic is winding up on year one of soberdom. I think that's what it's called. I would say being sober, but soberdom. If it's not a word, it is now. An ex-alcoholic is running up on their year one of soberdom. They have no idea if they're going to make it to year two. We have no idea if they're going to make it to year two. They just made it to year one. But the focus is that the thing to celebrate is that they have been freed. They've made it to a year. To make it to a year, you have to make it to 2 months. And the evidence that they've made it to 2 months is the evidence that they've been freed. So Jesus freed them from alcoholism, and they have consistently made the decision to stay free for an entire year. That's what's worth celebrating, not the actual 1 year. The fact that they chose to be an individual set free and then stay free. Gratitude is a superpower. Gratitude is a superpower. Changes when your perspective is like that, doesn't it? If you're so bold, I want you to tell me in the comments, what has Jesus done for you? That's what I want your focus to be. Don't be on no corny Jesus glitter type timing too. A lot of us get so caught up in what we want from him and what he's told us that he's going to do that we don't even sit and acknowledge what he's done. So when you put this comment in there, I want it to be something that he had done for you that you have forgotten about. Like a prayer that you were a literal answered prayer that you are sitting in. You know what I mean? Walking and talking in. Give me some highlights. What has Jesus done from you? Okay, I think that's all I have for you guys. Yeah. Bye.